peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting from the Political Command Center in London. Thank you very much. In Nairobi, good afternoon, Miriam and the panel. This is the legacy trend. Thank you very much. Today, I'll introduce the topic, then introduce the panel. We have Musa from Isiolo. Good afternoon, Musa.
Good afternoon, Dr. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Then we have Javani Karanja from Nanyuki. Good afternoon, Karanja.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Good afternoon to our viewers. Thanks for having me on the show.
Good afternoon, therefore, Miriam, back in Nairobi. Thank you very much for being there in the general headquarters.
Good afternoon to you, Doctor, and the rest of the panelists and our viewers.
Thank you. We shall be joined by quite other people on the way, but today we want to be specific. In the morning, we looked at the MNS of Nairobi. You did a great job. I was listening to you. Fantastic. The roads are becoming very good. Infrastructure, power is coming back, water is coming back. Uhuru Kenyatta wants to leave a legacy. A legacy of a country that has played a country without hatred, a country without violence. That's why Raila Amolo Odinga, you can say the names that you want. Whichever name you want to say is your problem. If you want to call him, is your problem. But give him the name that he deserves. Very few opposition leaders in Africa can behave like Raila Odinga. It is terrible that when people don't consider a person who has 7 million votes, who got over 6 point something million votes, decided to shake hands with the man who won him by hundreds of thousands of votes, a few, like a 200, and they said we need one nation to work one way. On this, some of us are not going to chicken out. Some of us will not stop engaging and telling people the truth. On this one, Raila has a right to give the destiny, to leave a legacy together with his brother, Uhuru Kenyatta. My role here is to defend the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. So you can even cry up to the angels. I have nothing to do for you. Mine is to defend the legacy. Mine is to tell what the legacy is, what it can do. If we don't get the peace, then we can't have a good election. If there is no peace, there will be no good election. There will be violence on the streets of Nairobi, of all the cities of Kenya. Kenya will never be the same. Countries that have got relative peace today, if you look at Britain, Britain fought 7 wars. Germany fought a war, First, Second World War. Wars. Both of them, it was Germany. The main cause, Germany. If you go to Germany today, you might not think, or you might think this country had no war at all, because it accepted and reconciled. It reconciled and said, we go ahead. We know we are wrong. We know Hitler destroyed our name, but we're not going to keep quiet and stay here and start mourning and doing lamentation lamentation according to the book of this, according to the book of that. No, we move on. Today, Germany is a superpower sponsoring our elections, paying for some African countries for their elections. Speaking of Europe, I'd forgotten that today in Democratic Republic of Congo, 2 diplomats of Italian origin in Virunga Park were killed by rebels. Unnamed rebels assassinated, ambushed, and they died. A few minutes ago, they have been killed, 2 Italian ambassadors. Also, the news that is clocking on the top of the hour, Ugandan opposition leader has withdrawn his petition challenging President Museveni from the Supreme Court, citing a very serious indictment to the judiciary of the Republic of Uganda. Those are some of the headlines that make, why do people go to court? Why are we going to court? If election, why do you go to court? It's because there is no peace. How do you use that? There is no peace. Why have people gone to court? Everywhere in Africa, people go to court because either they want to stop the mayhem that's going to happen, or there is no peace, so you seek the court. Why can't we have a genuine electoral commission, which President Uhuru Kenyatta is saying? Let's have a genuine electoral commission, an electoral commission that will deliver this country called Kenya to the heights. There are so many people who are opposing President Uhuru Kenyatta on this question of peace. Look at the divisions. Let's look at the divisions. Kalonzo attacking Raila. Mudavadi attacking Raila. If we are saying we are united, what is making these people attack Raila Odinga? Odinga has just withdrawn from the Machakos elections. You see, we are heading to a direction that does not bring peace. The ODM says it cannot give them support because of the utterances that have been thrown around. Childish, juvenile utterances. Oh, he did not support me. Oh, I hid under the mat when the time of someone hid under the mat or the carpet when the time of reckoning came. They never showed up, and then they now come up to say they on this one they fired the first salvo. Raila was not even in. Maybe what do you know? Maybe Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta, they have something that we all of us don't know. Once they get a person whom they want, whom they feel this person will be worth, will keep the country united, they could pull their strings behind that person. If Raila himself decides to be on the ballot, fine, so be it. He has tried. But this is a last chance. Give him a chance. There is this question of which is being used that he had a last bullet, but there is a magazine. The chamber, the bulletin in the chamber, most of you, Karanja and Musa and Kirimi and Miriam, there is a bullet in the chamber. That's the one going to kill. But there are bullets in the magazine, but they remain on the same gun. So when you say he had the last bullet, he might have 40 bullets in the chamber. So he can pull more of these bullets to come in the chamber. I am not in agreement, but the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, where Uhuru and Raila Odinga sat down, came up with a decision that they will not again have Kenyans to fight. Miriam, is what we want to talk about this afternoon. You can choose us, align us. Whoever has a comment can make a comment. Whoever sees where we are going wrong, in the type as people going wrong, attacking each other, who is the main violent person around this. I know Kirimi will come with the usual suspect. So we have a problem here. So let's discuss that as a legacy. We see a lot. You see, in the morning, infrastructure was very clear. You tabled it all. Uhuru has got a way of living this Kenya. He wants to sit in a peaceful Kenya. 5 years to come, if these roads, flyovers are being built, if all these roads are looking like a Nairobi, you don't need to go to London. You only need to stay in Nairobi and see the cars moving on top of each other. You only need to sit in Nairobi and tell your person that prepare food, I am on the train coming. That is very credible. That's very good. That is what a country should have. Even if you borrow, don't listen to Ruto. The money that was borrowed, 3/4 of the money borrowed, Ruto ate it. That's why he has money to buy everything. But there is one thing you might not buy. That one thing is called what? Luck. You can buy everything on earth, but if you don't have the luck to be the president of that country, you might not have it. Something technical comes and knocks him off. And I'm sure the DP will have a lot of opponents who might not want him actually to be even on the ballot. Those who will go and file rejection notes, petitions saying he cannot stand. So there's still a long journey, which we must. But above all this, why can't we unite? Why can't we live a united Kenya? A peaceful Kenya. A Kenya with plenty for everybody. A Kenya space for everyone to enjoy. A tolerant Kenya. I submit.
Right. Thank you, Doctor, for that. And we know at the core of the BBI is the issue of inclusivity, and under inclusivity, I'm sure that there are factors that will ensure as a country we feel included, and that will be if we are able to unite and also have a peaceful cohesion so that everybody feels as though they are part of. So unity in Kenya is very important, and we've seen President Uhuru Kenyatta being at the forefront of ensuring he unites this country, or he leaves this country more united than he found it when he was first elected as the President of the Republic of Kenya. So perhaps I'll just start with the basics there, Musa. How well do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing in terms of uniting the country?
Yes, Miriam. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Dr. for the proper introduction on this subject. Just to be precise in this, as a good student of political science, I've divided Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy plan into 5 sections. The first one, foreign policy. Second, regionalism. Third, infrastructure. Fourth, security. And fifth, technology. The first one, Miriam, this is Africa. We've seen countries coming up, but it was under President Uhuru Kenyatta, we remember very well. When you see at how Kenya's foreign policy was improved, Kenya saw bloodbath in South Sudan, Miriam. Salva Kiir, Riek Machar, fighting between 2 communities of Nuer and Shilluk. President Uhuru Kenyatta, the trusted KDF, the Kenya Defense Forces, Miriam, intervened in South Sudan. The Kenyan army was sent as a peacekeeping mission in South Sudan, which later it withdrew, but after establishing peace in that region. We remember the negotiations, Miriam, between Riek Machar and Salva Kiir, which at a point in time were done in Nairobi. And one of the people who really spearheaded these negotiations, Miriam, you remember, was back then Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, who was tasked by Uhuru Kenyatta on matters of AU and other dignitaries. Miriam, apart from that, we go fast forward to the differences we've had on border skirmishes with our neighbors, Ethiopia. We know very well that border has been so porous. Dr. Matsanga remembers very well the differences and the conflict between the Merile community living in southern Ethiopia and the Turkana community around Lake Turkana, how they were fighting over the resources. And for your information and to all the viewers is that the opening of the custom border post by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Uhuru Kenyatta about a month ago in that region has really brought a lot of positivity. And Miriam, we tried even, during our first time, though it was not successful. Ambassador Amina Mohamed bid to become the chairperson, of AU. We really pushed. Though we were not successful, we were betrayed by our neighbors. President Uhuru Kenyatta has really tried as far as selling Kenyan foreign policy.
According to you, Musa.
Yes.
President Uhuru Kenyatta's position on foreign policy.
Yes.
On foreign engagement, international investment can bring peace in this country and bring
definitely because this is an economic hub of East Africa. We remember very well, Miriam, we enjoyed something which was never done by the past presidents, sports tourism. You remember President Uhuru Kenyatta organized the first EAF World Youth Championship in Nairobi. I think this year also the World Rally Cross Championship is coming to Nairobi. These are all done by stronger foreign relations, whether it matters with soft power or hard power. Miriam, the list goes on. We cannot mention. The other day, President Uhuru Kenyatta is bringing a new neighbor on board, a new kid on the block, when he has decided to open an embassy, a consulate in Somaliland, and he met with President Musa Bihi when he came to Nairobi. And that is as far as, foreign policy is concerned. You are aware, Miriam, Kenya's tourism agenda has brought, even despite COVID-19, we've really survived. We've not had many losses, I can tell you. And you are seeing a lot of, expo under the authority of Ministry of Tourism being done abroad under the leadership of President Uhuru Kenyatta, where they are guided by Kenyan Foreign Policy 2014. Second, I will come to regionalism, Miriam. And as far as regionalism is concerned, Kenya under President Uhuru Kenyatta have been good to its neighbors. We've been good to our neighbors, Miriam. We are the ones who really helped even when, even before the coming of COVID-19, the opening up of the port, the infrastructure which is being done in Lamu, it is not only going to help Kenya, it is going to help Democratic Republic of Congo, it is going to help Burundi, it is going to help Rwanda, Miriam, because these are landlocked countries which are really relying, on this port for Kenya.
How would you say,
and
Musa,
that was even
Musa,
made
how would you
stronger,
say,
Miriam, by
how would you say President Uhuru Kenyatta is
the
doing in
advent of
terms
President Uhuru Kenyatta inviting Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Musa.
Yes.
My question was, and all that is wonderful and good, and we've seen what President Uhuru Kenyatta and the stride he's made in terms of, our relations with diplomatic relations with other countries. You've seen that he made a lot of progress there. But my question was, how would you rate President Uhuru Kenyatta's efforts to unite the country, the people of Kenya?
Now, Miriam, I get your point, and the reason why I started and giving this analysis is because I'm coming to that, because he who manages his neighbor definitely manages, and he has a good reading from also the point. So the
charity has to begin at home. So how would you say he's doing here at home?
Miriam, yes, the charity begins at home. I agree with you very strongly. But President Uhuru Kenyatta inherited a very chaotic neighbors before he became to power. I will come back to that. When we come to the history of this country, Miriam, you remember very well the advent of devolution. This is the first president we are having under the 2010 Constitution, Miriam. Counties who are finding it hard to transition, from the older local government structure to the county government structure, which is new to the Kenyan Constitution, Miriam. And one of the landmark thing we remember President Uhuru Kenyatta for is that when he came in 2013, we remember very well, President Uhuru Kenyatta came with the face of uniting and bringing the image of Kenya, through the ruling party Jubilee. Why am I saying this, Miriam? I'm saying this from the kind of representation we had under President Uhuru Kenyatta. By the virtue of coming from Isiolo County, the first woman elected senator in this country, Miriam, from northern part of the country, is the deputy majority leader for the Senate, Senator Fatuma Dulo, and she's from my county. By recognizing a woman from that region and making her the deputy Senate majority leader, it means a lot to us for Normans. He's trying to bring the people on board on how they can ensure, that unity is achieved. The other day he was in Moyale, Miriam. He is the first president of this country to step a foot in our area, that is the border post of Moyale. I'm speaking from the northern perspective that when he came and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed was there, people felt and people said, Uhuru is doing something. For your information, Miriam, we've been marginalized for 53 years since independence. The other year, President Uhuru Kenyatta secured the largest loan a World Bank can offer to an African country, 81.2 billion, in upgrading the Isiolo, Modogashe, Wajir, Mandera Road, which its construction is underway. Miriam, what does this tell you? We cannot unite people by promising them or giving them fake promise. President Uhuru Kenyatta has decided to, to continue what President Kibaki has done. And people are very happy from that side of the country. We have the first tarmac road. The other day, he opened the airport, which is now fully functional. That is as far as development is concerned.
All right.
Secondly, in socio-economic, where he has united this country, Miriam, this is the man whom he has that charm of being young and at the same time that charm of being, coming from that older point of view. And I will say it directly. President Uhuru Kenyatta has really tried his best in understanding one of the most complex politicians in Kenyan history, and that is Raila Amolo Odinga. As Dr. Matsanga has said, you can bring anyone on the table, but convincing Raila Amolo Odinga that handshake is possible, this is something which not any politician can pull.
Thank
at the end of the day, Miriam, you remember very well the chaotic the chaos Kenya went through in the 2007, 2008 general election. And when President Uhuru Kenyatta shook hands with Raila Amolo Odinga, many things came into place. This is the hub of East Africa diplomatically. It means we were assured, at least for a decade to come, there shall be no war. There shall be no violence, Miriam. And people might not see this one from the perspective of sitting in Nairobi, but Miriam, I'm live streaming from Isiolo, whereby security to these communities is one of the stronger things people really consider. And I feel like, whatever Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to establish, the nexus is something which is very critical. I will finalize with the war on terrorism, Miriam. You remember in the year 2013, even 2017, the Westgate attack, the Mpeketoni attack, the Garissa University College attack. If indeed President Uhuru Kenyatta would have been irrational, or maybe he was not being, he was not consultative, then he could have taken sides and saying that, the Muslim community are the ones who are harboring this. But he never did that, Miriam. You remember, he assured even the people who are living in this country, who are feeling marginalized, who are feeling threatened by this Al-Shabaab, he strongly came on our face and said to us that terrorism is a threat facing all the Kenyans. We should not be purging to divide people on the basis of Al-Shabaab coming to attack these people, Miriam. And many things came into place. I've talked to you about the issue of ID. Personally, Miriam, it took me 3 years to get my ID. The other day I was in Garbatula town where my cousin told me that he got issued with a national ID in a span of 2 weeks. These are some of the, people might speak of, national healing process of, trying to reduce the gap between the poor and the rich, between the marginalized and the ones. The smaller things you are seeing now that even we, the people coming from the north, are feeling part and parcel of Kenya, Miriam, is something we are proud of. And I feel like I'm very optimistic come 2022, we are going to have the first general election which is free from chaos, which is free from intimidation, which is free from ethnical, clashes and misunderstanding come 2022, Miriam.
Thank you.
I submit.
Thank you so much. You've really brought out very important issues there, and we know there has been some historical and systematic marginalization when it comes to some communities in this country. And I've heard you say that President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government has been trying to address some of these issues. Like for me, having an idea is not a big deal, but I know that people from a certain part of this country, like you said, it took you 3 years and you're a Kenyan. It shouldn't be like that, but I'm happy that those are things that the government is responding to. And I think it helps in the bigger picture of every Kenyan feeling that they're part of the country. And so that goes a long way in elaborating the unity.
And Miriam, even sorry to cut you short, and Dr. Matsanga knows this, the first Muslim, no matter how arrogant he is, the first nomad and the first Muslim to be the leader of majority for the National Assembly was because of the mercy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Eden Duale never became that by the virtue of being lucky as a Kenyan. Uhuru Kenyatta meant to unite these people, Miriam.
All right.
We were given the director of the public prosecution, someone coming from that side. We had, for the first time, we were given cabinet positions, Miriam. Amina Mohammed is there. The likes of Valake Wako are there. Adan Mohammed, Minister for Industrialization. These are the opportunities, you know, in the name of diversity we've enjoyed under the president. Miriam.
All right. And I think...
But Rio, don't...
Yes, that...
The oxygen saturation. So this is the main theater? Yes.
It's an maternity theater.
Yeah,
for those babies who get into...
These are premature.
Yeah.
Hapa tip for TB. Maji yako mukaniambia ya kwamba mnataka tuendelee na mambo ya barabara. Barabara za jengwa hazijengwi. Barabara za jengwa hazijengwi. Sini zinajengwa. Hiyo ndio ahadi, na mtu akitoa ahadi bei yake ni moja tu, ni nini? Si tumelipa?
That is one of the recent projects that President Uhuru Kenyatta they launched at Uthiru. I think we talked about it in the morning. Now, I'd like to bring Jevan after, Musa has given us an account on some of the things and the changes that they've seen in the northeastern part of the country, where for a long time, as I said there earlier, have been marginalized historically, systematically, and so it's a good thing when every Kenyan can feel indeed that they are part of the bigger picture of this country called Kenya. Jevan Karanja, I don't know how you feel President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing in terms of trying to unite the country.
Okay, thank you, Miriam. And I agree with Musa. And Miriam, I was telling you that there are some parts of this country that they didn't feel like they are part of Kenyan, they are part of this country because of how maybe they felt marginalized for many years. And maybe when they saw somebody from Mount Kenya region or central part of this country, they thought you are coming from the moon. And that was not the country that President Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to leave behind. And let me go back to the government of 2013, the TNA and the URP coming together. And this is after the 2007-2008 violence. And President Uhuru came out as a peace-loving Kenya. And this happened in Nakuru, in Afraha Stadium, when they joined hands with the Deputy President, William Ruto, to bring their communities together. That to me is something that did well to ensure that in the coming elections in 2013, in 2017, there was no chaos, there was no fight in Rift Valley. And that, to me, I attribute that character and that move by President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I take it dearly because it saved this country from our community antagonism that we experienced in Rift Valley. Then came to the government that was formed in 2013 and 2017. President Uhuru Kenyatta ensured that he brings a cabinet. His cabinet is constituted with people from all parts of this country. We have the likes of Fred Matiang'i, we have the likes of Amina Mohammed, and the people from all parts of this country forming a part of the ministerial cabinet of President Uhuru. That shows that this is a man who cares for all Kenyans, all communities of this country. When you go to Kisii today, they feel as part and parcel of this government because they see Friend Matiang'i is there and he is doing an excellent job. That is unity. He is bringing all communities together. If he was a man of hypocrisy, he was a man who does not love this country, he could have appointed all cabinets from his tribe, but he didn't do that. Therefore, this shows a man who is focused to ensure that this country is united. In 2017, when we had the polarized and all the dramas after the nullification of the presidential ballot, presidential election, we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta coming up with a handshake between him and his opponent, a former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, to ensure this country moves to the next level. And this handshake has brought a redemption strategy by the name of BBI. He brought the opposition together. And today, Miriam, when you go to Kisumu from Mount Kenya region, you'll be accepted, you'll be welcomed as person who comes from that region. Therefore, this calls by President Uhuru Kenyatta to bring all Kenyans together is something that we really, really appreciate, and we are looking forward to ensure that his agenda, the agenda of BBI, sees the light of the day, so that we bring all Kenyans together, and that will go. And you know, in the BBI, and this is where I see a more inclusive Kenya coming is through the inclusivity. He talks of bringing all communities together. He talks of the BBI talks of bringing all communities together, solving the issue of divisive elections, the fight against corruption. These are some of things that divide us as a nation. If we have a good election, Miriam, Kenyans will not fight. If we have a credible elections, Kenyans will go there, they lose and they win, and they will celebrate and join hands to congratulate the winner. If we deal with the issue of marginalization and we bring equality and we bring equity in this country, all Kenyans will feel as part and parcel of this country. And that to me is unity. If we have a country where everybody sees that they are represented in the government, that to me makes unity. Because at the end of the day, Miriam, if we have a country where some people feel segregated, where some people feel excluded, that country will not be united. But President Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to ensure that we have a united country where everybody will be proud to belong to this country. That to me is unity, and I applaud President Uhuru Kenyatta for his wise and prudent understanding of the purpose and to have the purpose of unity in a country. Because when you are united, the country develops, service delivery, and people at the end of the day, they get the feeling of patriotism. They start loving their country. They start giving back to the society by ensuring that all of us are equal. And one thing that President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing is to ensure that he fights tribalism, he fights corruption, he fights all things that divide us as a nation, and bring bring all of us together and ensures that every Kenyan in this country, in one way or the other, he feels that he belongs to this nation. A unified country, that is what President Uhuru Kenyatta is focused, and Kenyans of good mind, and Kenya who mind this country, they are joining hands to ensure that the BBI and the calls of unity, and we have a national conversation where we will talk about the unity of a country rather than communities and clan unification. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. We need to understand that when the President of the Republic of Kenya speaks about uniting the country, we are uniting the country through infrastructure, making sure that the regions that have been marginalized before, like the coastal province, if you want them to raise to power or accede to power in the coastal province, you just need them to say the government is not working for the coastal people, and when you get to power, you're going to empower them and make sure that their national cake piece is also brought to the people of the coastal region. But at the end of the day, we have seen now the president has brought over 400 projects in the coastal region and also other areas of the country. Now than ever, you can do your business in Kisumu or any other part of the country without people asking where you come from. Since 2018, when the president brought the handshake between himself and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga of the ODM party, we've seen tremendous gains for business people across the nation. Since 2018, people have been able to do their businesses without go and embrace his own opponents and also people that have never voted for him since the start of his mandate 8 years ago. So Miriam, for me, my take on President's unity agenda transcends beyond the peace that we enjoy. Even the infrastructure that as a country we have been able to enjoy has been rolled out to other parts of the country rather than to the places that are perceived to be supporting the president. The president is no longer buying support from these opposition zones. They are receiving services and also receiving government development projects as part of their taxes, as part of their rights as citizens of this country. We have now seen an empowered citizenry. There is no school that has been discriminated in terms of electricity connection because of their opposition zones. Before, we could have seen a president who would not have embraced particular places because they oppose him or oppose his administration. Because President Uhuru Kenyatta is not looking for a mandate again to become the president of the Republic of Kenya. We have seen Kenyans receive their equitable share of government resources and also government development projects, and that thing has united the people of Kenya, whether poor or rich. Whoever they are, Kenyans have been able to be united, and also President Kenyatta has been able to unite opposition leaders, has been able to bring them together. We have seen him appoint Kalonzo Musyoka as a peace envoy to South Sudan. We have seen him lobby for the Right Honorable Raila Odinga to be appointed at AU. Many presidents in Africa will not do that to be able to pacify their legacy or even do it for their own citizenry. So this is what my take is, and thank you. This is my submission.
Thank you so much. And I think that we will come to the end of our show right now. I think the things that you guys have said are quite straightforward. So we meet here tomorrow, God willing, at 9 a.m. so that we can continue and look at other news making headlines. A lot of things are happening right now. As Dr. Matanga there mentioned, Bobby Wine has withdrawn his petition to challenge President Yoweri Museveni. And I think I had that at 12:30 when I was doing my the diaspora dispatches. I'd read that the lawyer, that was the intention, but I didn't know they'll do it so quickly. So that is a developing story, and that and a lot other news we shall be doing tomorrow in the morning, God willing. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Musa Abdi. Thank you, Jevan Karanja. Thank you, Douglas Kirimi, and of course Dr. Matanga, who left the conversation earlier. My name is Miriam Ogoto. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.